The NBA season is back. And with the NBA season coming back, it brings a whole lot of new questions like who's going to win this year? What team is KD going for? Will he be averaging 35 points per game? Will he be averaging 40 points per game? Nope. Do I draft him first in my fantasy league? Why are all these questions about KD? I don't know. Let's get started. Anyway, to jump right into it, let's get started on who is going to win the East this year. And it's obviously the Cleveland Cavaliers unless something drastic happens and they get injured or someone else picks up something good. The reason I'm saying it's obviously them because even though the Heat have sort of gotten better with Winslow and then Goran and Chris Bosh playing on the court at the same time, I don't think that they're quite at the Cleveland level, so they're not really going to be able to compete with them. Then you got the Hawks, who are just inconsistent. City, they took us by surprise last year, but now that people are going to be planning for them, I don't think it's going to work as well. And then you have the Bulls, new coach, no really new talent so far. They could potentially get someone, but I don't see that happening. And if they stay healthy, they could make a run in the playoffs. But honestly, I see the Cavaliers not only winning the regular season, but going to the finals. The West, completely different story. I could see 6 teams winning the West next year in the regular season. But I'm going to put Golden State at the top of that list just because I feel like they have the consistency and the core to do so. And they didn't really make drastic changes, but they did sort of fix up what was wrong last year. I mean, Steph Curry said he was adding a whole new section to his game. So after the first 6 teams, which I feel like everybody knows, it's going to be the Clippers, it's going to be the Spurs, it's going to be the Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. There are 2 slots left, and I feel like those 2 slots could really be filled with the Pelicans at the 7 and maybe the Suns at the 8. Now, the Suns have not gotten better over the summer, but they haven't gotten way worse, I guess is the way to put it. And Portland has gotten way worse. The Nuggets, I just really don't see, other than the top 6, no one is really guaranteed to be in that slot. Now, the Mavericks could make a run for the 8th spot. That wouldn't go over my head to see that. Utah could make the run for the 8th slot. But I do think the Pelicans can stay in that 7 slot pretty easily because Anthony Davis is adding a 3 to his game. Incredible. Now, once you get in the playoffs, it's going to be so freaking weird. Now, let's put it in this order. So, Golden State will be playing the 8th seed in my fantasy world. So, if Golden State's playing the 8th seed, they should move on with basically no problem unless someone from the top 6 teams sort of falls into the 8th seed. Then they could have a problem. If Golden State doesn't have a problem, that means they move on to the next round against the 4 or 5 seed. 4 or 5 seed is going to be a difficult match for them because the 4 or 5 seed is going to be really, really, really good if it goes 1 through 6, the 6 best teams, and then 7 and 8. The Spurs, who I have at the 2nd seed, are going to have a hard time-ish, I guess you can say, with the Pelicans. The Pelicans are a really good young team, and with Anthony Davis adding that 3, once again, amazing, splendid, wonderful. I could see them having some issues. Then they move on to the next series, which will either be the 3 or the 6, which again could be 2. Both of those teams could be very good teams, which means the Spurs will not have an easy time. Now, when it comes to the rest of those 4 teams that I put at 3 through 6, any of those teams could make it to the finals, to be honest. But my favorite to make it to the finals is the Spurs, and I also have them favorited to win the finals. The reason I have the Spurs winning the finals is simple, because they have their same core group, but they added on to it, which is what you're supposed to do. Now, I know Cleveland had Kyrie injured last year, and they're supposed to come back with tight-knit chemistry and feeling better than ever. But, I mean, it's the Spurs, it's old, reliable, and Tim Duncan, and then you add this new flashy player with LaMarcus, who's not really all that flashy, but he's really, really good. Then you have David West coming off the bench. David West coming off the bench. He would be a starter on, 20 different teams, 24 different teams. They have him coming off the bench for what, 2 million, 1 million-ish? Then you have Danny Green, who sort of came out of the proverbial closet sort of during the playoff run a couple years ago. Then you got Kawhi Leonard, who can limit LeBron, I guess you could say. Not really stop him, but limit him. You have Tony Parker, who might have a rebound season this year. And then, who am I missing? I'm not missing anyone from the starting lineup. You got Manu Ginobili, who's just going to play better as he gets older, like he usually does. And Cleveland is going to have a bunch of injured players because they do not know how to present themselves. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's kind of a quick cut video and very low editing, but this is just so much more refreshing and easy to make. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, like, subscribe, show me to your friends because I'd like to grow this channel. And also, if there are any colleges out there looking to give me a scholarship, please do. Thank you. Sports journalism, broadcast journalism, any of those majors you offered, thank you. I'll even go behind the scenes. I'll do video production. I'm not scared. I'll do it. Whatever. Bye.